Canadians can't eat liberal excuses. Groceries cost more here than anywhere in the G7, while insiders like Carney cheer deficits and taxes. Conservatives ask one thing: cut the taxes, stop the inflation, and let families afford food again. Watch this heated exchange live and judge for yourself.
Canadians deserve affordable groceries, but under this Prime Minister's watch, food price inflation is the highest in the G7. It's twice as high as in the States, twice as high as when he took office. He can't blame global factors when it's rising faster than any other G7 country. The real cause is his rising taxes on farmers.
I'm going to allow the honourable Leader of the Opposition to start that question over. I mean, we need guys. Start it over there. Start it over there. The honourable member of the Opposition. The honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the Canadian people deserve affordable groceries. Liberals might laugh that off, but they've given Canada the worst food price inflation in the G7. It's rising twice as fast here in Canada as in the United States of America. 2.2 million people lined up at food banks. And since this Prime Minister said that he would make groceries affordable, the inflation rate has actually doubled. Will the Prime Minister finally reverse his inflationary deficits and taxes so Canadians can afford to eat?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we certainly want to wish the Leader of the Opposition well in this very decisive and important week for him, and we know that he will have success at his party's convention.
Best of luck. We're rooting for you.
The Prime Minister's plan to grow our economy, to create $1 trillion in investment, and to protect our workers and our industries from trade threats is before this House, Bill C-15. Now, we take very, very well the Leader's openness on working with us on legislation. Can he give us a date, just a date, the next words out of his mouth, give us the date where we can have third reading on the BIA, Mr. Speaker?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of solidarity, why won't they agree with the Canadian people that we should get rid of all the hidden taxes that they've imposed on groceries? There's the Liberal fuel standard tax, which is 7 cents a litre on farmers, truckers, and those who bring us our food. There's the industrial carbon tax on farm equipment and fertilizer. All of this has given Canada the worst food price inflation in the G7. Our food costs are rising twice as fast as in the United States of America, and now they promise to recycle a Trudeau-era rebate that won't even cover one trip to the grocery store, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
I know that it's a particularly challenging week for the Leader of the Opposition, but let me help him because today we have good news for Canadians, Mr. Speaker. It's called the Canada Grocery and Essentials Benefit, Mr. Speaker. I know in his heart he's rejoicing, Mr. Speaker, because he's been asking questions in this House. Now we have delivered for Canadians, Mr. Speaker. The real question, all the Liberals MP are going to vote in favour. Canadians are in favour. Will the Conservative be good for their word and vote with us to help Canadians?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, only the Liberals would look at the $17,600 that the average family has to spend on groceries and say that it's a time to rejoice. They say that Canadians should be grateful that to be lined up in record numbers at the food bank. They think Canadians should thank them for having the highest food inflation in the G7, twice as bad as the United States of America. They think that Canadians should give Liberals gratitude for having doubled food price inflation since this Prime Minister was elected, promising to be judged by the prices at the grocery store. Why won't they reverse their Liberal taxes and debt so we can...
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, it's a good news for Canadians who are struggling today. In fact, up to $1,900 more for a Canadian family to help with those costs of living that the Conservatives have been talking about all fall, Mr. Speaker. In fact, the MP from Edmonton, Manning, told a story about Enid, who is struggling with the cost of groceries. Is he going to vote against Enid's desire to have more money to buy groceries?
Wow. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the reality is that Eden is paying, and his family are paying a record high price. If Eden is part of a family of 4, that family will spend over $17,000 on groceries this year. That's $1,000 more than they did last year. That's the fastest increase in the G7. And now the Prime Minister has revived a Trudeau-era rebate, which we'll let pass, that will barely cover a few trips to the grocery store, while the average family spends $17,000+ Why doesn't the Liberals stop increasing grocery prices by getting rid of their inflationary deficits and taxes on food?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I know that the Leader of the Opposition is a bit concerned about the week ahead, but let me quote a letter he sent us on January 24th, Mr. Speaker. We wouldn't assume that it would be good for his words. He said, if you have other ideas that make food affordable, we will fast-track them, Mr. Speaker. Well, I have good news for him. It's called the Canada Grocery and Essentials Benefit, Mr. Speaker, helping 12 million Canadians. The question we have on this side, will he stand up in this House? Will he be good for his word and support 12 million Canadians that are expecting this government and this House to support them?